3 terminal windows, 3 Git worktrees, all running Codex simultaneously. One is writing tests, one is fixing a bug, one is updating documentation. I'm doing none of it. I'm in a meeting. By the time the meeting ends, 3 branches are ready for review. That's not magic. That's just knowing how Codex CLI actually works. Let me show you the 5 things that made the difference. Here's what most developers do with Codex CLI. They open a terminal. They type fix the bug in auth.ts. They get a partial result. They prompt again and slowly grow frustrated. Sound familiar? The problem is not Codex. The problem is that you're using a race car in first gear. Codex CLI is not a smarter terminal autocomplete. It is a local coding agent with full access to your file system, the ability to run commands, write code, and even spawn child subagents. Most developers unlock maybe 20% of that. This video is the other 80. I'm going to walk you through 5 techniques that senior developers actually use in 2026. And the first one takes about 3 minutes to set up, but it changes every session after it. Most people think Codex CLI is just ChatGPT in a terminal. It's not. Here's the correct mental model. Codex CLI is a local agent. It reads your codebase, runs commands, and modifies files autonomously. The key difference is context. It doesn't just respond to your message. It explores your project first. Think of it like a contractor who actually reads the blueprints before picking up a hammer. The tool has 3 operating modes, according to the official Codex documentation. Auto mode is the default. Codex acts but asks you before writing files or running shell commands. Full auto runs completely autonomously, no approval prompts. Suggest mode is read-only. It proposes changes without touching anything. For most daily work, auto mode is correct. Full auto is for trusted repos where you've verified Codex's judgment. Suggest mode is good for a second opinion without risk. The model matters too. According to OpenAI's models page, GPT-5.5 is the current recommended choice for complex coding and planning work. GPT-5.4 Mini handles routine tasks faster and cheaper. You can switch mid-session with /model. More on that in Skill 5. Okay, the 5 skills. Here's what most Codex CLI users are missing. Every session, Codex starts from scratch. It doesn't remember your architecture decisions. It doesn't know your naming conventions. It doesn't know which patterns you hate. So it makes reasonable guesses, and those guesses are almost never exactly what you want. AGENTS.md fixes this. According to OpenAI's official docs, Codex reads AGENTS.md before doing any work in a session. This file is your onboarding document for Codex. Written once, applied forever. Think of it like hiring a senior developer who actually read all your documentation before their first day. An effective AGENTS.md has 4 sections. First, your tech stack, the exact frameworks and libraries in use. Second, architecture decisions. We use the repository pattern here. Do not bypass it with direct database calls. Third, conventions, naming rules, file organization, import order. Fourth, the don'ts. Never add console.log statements. Never modify config files without asking. Always write a test for new functionality. A well-written agents.md transforms Codex from a generic coding agent into an expert in your specific codebase. According to the official Codex Best Practices Guide, layering a global agents.md with project-specific ones gives you consistent behavior across all your repos. Write the global one first. Stack preferences, code style, general principles. Then add project-specific files per repo. Here's a mistake I made for the first 2 months of using Codex. I gave it a complex task and let it run. Half the time it got it right. Half the time it made decisions I'd have made differently, and I only found out after reviewing the diff. The fix is /command /plan. For any task that isn't completely obvious, run /plan first. Codex will walk through its reasoning, what it intends to change, which files it will touch, what approach it's taking. You review the plan in the thread. You correct it if needed. Then you execute. Think of it like GPS. A good GPS shows you the route before you start driving, not while you're already on the highway. The insight the Codex docs highlight is this: you can edit the plan directly in the thread before executing. That makes you the architect, not just the reviewer. For clear tasks, fix the typo in line 47, skip the plan. For ambiguous tasks, refactor the auth module to support OAuth. Always plan first. According to the Codex Best Practices Guide, the developers shipping the most are the ones who default to plan first on anything ambiguous. The planning pass alone cuts revision cycles in half. Those two skills already put you ahead of most Codex users. But the next one? I showed 3 senior developers these shortcuts last week. None of them knew any of them, and they've been in the official documentation the whole time. These 3 come straight from the official Codex CLI features page. Most developers have just never scrolled that far. Shortcut 1, the @ operator. Type anywhere in your message to open a fuzzy file search over your project. Press Tab or Enter to drop the path directly into your prompt. No more typing out long file paths. No more copy-pasting from your file tree. Just @, start typing, select. Shortcut 2, enter during execution. While Codex is running a task, press Enter to inject a new instruction midstream. You don't have to wait for the task to finish and start over. If Codex is going the wrong direction, correct it in real time. Shortcut 3, Tab to queue. Press Tab while Codex is running to queue your next instruction. Codex finishes the current task, picks up your queued instruction automatically, and keeps going. Together, these 3 turn Codex from a turn-based conversation into a continuous work session. You're not waiting, you're not starting over, you're guiding a working agent in real time. This is the setup you saw in the opening. Now you have enough context to understand why it works. Git Worktrees let you check out multiple branches from the same repository simultaneously in separate directories. Each directory gets its own Codex CLI session. They don't block each other. They don't know about each other. They just work, in isolation, in parallel. The workflow is simple. 3 to 4 work trees is the sweet spot, per a real-world Codex CLI guide from ou've.ai, documenting how senior developers actually work in 2026. Worktree 1 handles the current feature. Worktree 2 runs test coverage. Worktree 3 handles documentation. While all 3 run, you review and direct, not implement. Inside a session, /subagent spawns a child agent for parallel exploration. Ask the subagent to research a pattern or explore part of the codebase, while your main agent continues the primary task. According to the official Codex Subagents documentation, Codex handles orchestration automatically, spawning agents, waiting for results, returning a consolidated response. The honest caveat: parallel work trees require Git hygiene. If your branches diverge significantly, merging them gets complex. The pattern works best for tasks that are genuinely independent. Don't parallelize work that shares state. The last skill is about working smarter, not harder. 2 parts. First, model switching. Codex runs on multiple models. GPT-5.5 is OpenAI's recommended choice for complex coding and planning work, per the official Codex models documentation. But not every task needs GPT-5.5. Routine work, file summaries, documentation generation, test scaffolding runs faster and cheaper on GPT-5.4 Mini. The power user pattern: switch to Mini for the boring stuff. Keep 5.5 for architecture decisions. Type /model in any session to switch without leaving the terminal. Second, the skills system. Access skills by typing /skills or $ in the CLI. Skills are reusable task-specific files, like saved workflows that Codex applies on demand. The community maintains an open-source repo, Composio HQ's awesome Codex skills on GitHub, with 9 must-have skills covering commit message generation, PR reviews, and test coverage analysis. Write your own in a skill.md file, and Codex picks them up automatically. Together, model switching and skills make you more efficient in 2 directions: less compute on routine work and fewer repeated instructions on common workflows. That's the compounding return that builds over weeks and months. Let me put all 5 together. Morning, you open 3 work trees. Agents.md is already written, so Codex knows your codebase before you type a single task. You use /plan on the complex feature. You just do it on the clear bug fix. The @ operator targets exact files. Tab queues the follow-up. Mini handles the documentation. GPT-5.5 makes the architecture call. By noon, 3 branches are waiting for review. No context switches. No repeated explanations. No, that's not how we do things here in the diff review. Just clean PRs that follow your standards, every time. Here's the honest truth about this workflow. It doesn't eliminate hard problems. Architecture decisions still require you. Code review still requires judgment. but it eliminates the low-value work that consumes your attention. And attention, not time, is the real constraint for any developer. These 5 skills give you your attention back. If you want to go further, I'm putting Codex CLI head-to-head against Claude Code on the same real project. Same task, same acceptance criteria, measured on speed, code quality, and cost. If that comparison sounds useful, subscribe. That video is coming. And if you're running a Codex workflow that's working better than what I showed here, drop it in the comments. I want to know what I'm missing.